What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the Opinionated Hippie, and this is part 5 of my reviewing and ranking Jerry Garcia's archival concert release series, Garcia Live. This is the 5th entry, which is why this is part 5. Garcia Live, Volume 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about this release specifically, and then I'm going to rank this release among the other 4 that I've already talked about in the previous videos. What we have here for Volume 5 is a 2 CD set of a New Year's show on December 31st, 1975. This is a weird little show. The band, you got Garcia on guitar and vocals, you got John Kahn on bass. Jerry Garcia band, like those 2 are there. That's the core of them, right? Nicky Hopkins is on keyboard and vocals, mostly piano, quite a bit of the time. His presence is, him being on piano most of the time. He definitely is not filling as much space as like a Merle Saunders would or a Melvin would. He's not got that organ beefiness that comes with having those 2 people in your band. There's a sparseness to a lot of this. It just seems like there's a lot of space in a lot of the music that isn't normally there in a Jerry Garcia band recording. And then Greg Errico, E-R-R-I-C-O, who was in one of the founding members of Sly and the Family Stone, is on drums. And he is bringing a completely different vibe. And like, at first I credited the entire weirdness of the show. It's got this, it's funky, but it's a slow, unrehearsed funk. It sounds like a lot of these songs, the idea was, hey, let's just get through the song. I'm not gonna play them too fast. Erico's on drums, so we've got a nice solid funk foundation, but like a sparse funk, a Garcia funk. And let's just get to the solo section. Once we get to the solo section, you know we're all fine. But let's do that. And that kind of seems to be the way the approach to a lot of these songs are. It opens up with Let It Rock. And Let It Rock it's a slow Let It Rock. It's like, we're just like, this is what we're doing. We got this. We're all here. And Erico's just laying down this drum beat. And next thing you know, we're in a Let It Rock with some awesome solos and a nice, really patient, funky jam in it. Goes on for like 13 minutes. But the opening Let It Rock is almost indicative of the entire show. It's just like, it's Let It Rock, obviously. The band's playing it, but it really seems like they're almost doing it a little slower than normal, a little more cautiously than normal. Still sounds great. These are fantastic musicians. But there is a very loose, unhurried jam session feel about this entire show. Those 4 people are only on like 3 or 4 of the songs before Matthew Kelly shows up for the last 3 songs of the first set. And he's on harmonica. I think he's even playing some guitar. And then for the second set, Mickey Hart and Bob Weir show up. And Bob Weir even gets some vocals later on. Gets a whole CC Rider to himself, which is kind of weird. It's a weird show. Also, it's a New Year show. This has to be the most subdued New Year show I've ever heard. I've seen a lot of New Year shows in my life. Primus, back in the day. Who else was with Primus? Mr. Bungle, a lot of Dead shows, Mo, Fish. I've seen these really high energy, like over the top spectacle New Year shows. I saw one other one. Oh, Snoop Dogg one year. I saw Snoop Dogg New Year show. This is not those. There's a countdown, literally 10, 9, 8, they count down, people cheer. We go into a pretty, I guess, a pretty still kind of chill how sweet it is after New Year's. Like the playing is fantastic, right? I'm not complaining about the performances. It just doesn't sound like a New Year's show. So it's a weird vibe throughout this entire show, but I enjoy it. First set fits entirely on the first disc. Opens up with that really chill but funky but kind of slow but still kind of heavy, beefy Let It Rock. After they finish Let It Rock, Nicky Hopkins starts playing Mother Nature's Son, the Beatles song, and then I think the rest of the band kind of joins in, and we get a little like snippet, less than 2 minutes of Mother Nature's Son. Then we get It Ain't No Use, like this slow, patient blues jam, like awesome playing by everybody, really nice piano throughout this song and almost the entire set. But like, this is a laid back set, man. This is like laid back, but it's some bluesy stuff. After that finishes, Nikki starts playing God Save the Queen. I think Jerry comes in and starts playing that melody line with them. Then they play a pretty chill, They Love Each Other. Pretty short, don't really jam that out. It's about 8 minutes long. And then the last song is called Pig's Boogie. It's credited to Nicky Hopkins. I think it's improvised on the spot. It's like an 11-minute jam that starts off with some really nice kind of piano stuff by Nicky, kind of really upbeat vibe, very loose, it feels spontaneous. I have a feeling they just made it up on the spot. I'm not familiar with Nicky Hopkins' work. I don't know if he has a song called Pig's Boogie. I probably should have looked it up and see if, I don't know if he even has albums. I guess he has solo albums, right? I'm looking it up right now. Probably would have been his 73 album. Does he have a song called Pig's Boogie on there? Yeah, he does. So he has a 2.5-minute song called Pig's Boogie, which they turned into a 13-minute jam. They turn into a really nice closing 10-minute jam. Very loose. I'm not sure the rest of the band knew the song. It has a very loose feel about it, but it's good. It's awesome. That's set one. Set two, you get the New Year's countdown, which is some guy counting it down. This takes place in Berkeley at the Keystone. Whoever's doing the announcing has like a British accent or some kind of European accent. Don't know what that's about. Don't know who's doing the countdown or who rang Keystone back in the day. Then we get that How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, which I think has been on every single release so far. We get a really subdued Catfish John as the second song, which is like, it was New Year's, yay. Oh, now we're going really just gonna seep in this like Catfish John energy. Playing is good. It's chill. For this dropping, like they're dropping this at like what, 12:15, and it's so chill. Then we get a really good, probably the highlight musically of the entire night. We get a Mystery Train. This goes into like a drum section, which goes into like a straight up jam, which feels like a post drum, but not a space jam. Really free flowing, the most Grateful Dead-ish thing here. By this point, both Bobby and Mickey are there. Bobby even gets a little like guitar solo in there, or that could be Matthew Kelly on guitar solo. I think it's a Bob solo dropped in there at some point at that. We get a bass solo, like everybody gets a solo. Things are all over the place. And this Mystery Train, we get the drums little section, then we get the New Year's jam, then we go back into Mystery Train. That whole section's like 23, 24 minutes long. Definitely the heart and soul of this show. Probably has the most energy in that really long Mystery Train than anywhere else in the show. Third set, and that's the end of the second set. They then take a break. They come back and they play a third set. All of this fits on disc 2. They get a Tore Up Over You, which definitely missing the backing vocals. There's no backing vocals to like echo Jerry, which I think in the later years, having that presence of Jackie and Gloria, just like with those backing vocals, definitely adds to the energy of this song. It's a high energy Tore Up Over You, but nothing compared to what Jerry would do with this in the 80s and 90s. Then we get Bob singing CC Rider, and then we get a closing of I'm a Roadrunner. Some nice harmonica throughout. Everybody's sounding good. Roadrunner's kind of slow, but it's really loose and jammy. Same with CC Rider. Yeah, this is a weird show, man. It does... if you had played me this and not told me the date and take away the countdown, I never in my life would have guessed that this was like a New Year's show. I would have guessed this was like they had played like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Keystone, and this was like a 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday Keystone vibe. That was like where the show went. Like Friday and Saturday, they blew the roof off the sucker. Sunday, taking it a little bit more easy. Look, Mickey and Bob are going to drop by. Matthew's here. Yeah. It's 2 hours of really good Jerry, but it's not New Year's level craziness, kind of slow and funky. Erico on drums is definitely helping. Nicky Hopkins on piano gives it a different vibe. Yeah, an interesting show. Not the best sound. The bass is kind of all over the place at times, but I think that just adds to it's not bad sound, but there are some like weird instruments are kind of popping up at different times. But I think it adds to just the overall weirdness. The overall just, I don't know what the vibe is in the show. Like I enjoy it, at times I feel like, is this the vibe they were going? Like, it's weird. I don't know. If anybody else listens to this or is familiar with this or has an opinion on this, like, it's just that first set, especially listen to the Let It Rock and just the way it kind of like, it's almost like they're having trouble, like not starting the engine, like they have to push it downhill before we get the momentum to actually go. I don't know. There's something weird about it. Or like you're booting up. It's like you're booting up a computer and different things are popping up before the full thing goes into effect. Maybe that's what Let It Rock is like. But there's little interludes in between with Mother Nature Son and God Save the Queen, led by Nicky Hopkins. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, it's a weird show. All right, that's it. But that's it. It's a strange vibe, but I like it. Where would I rank this among the other ones? It's right in the middle. Volume 1, just a pure Jerry Garcia show. It's absolutely fantastic. Hunter does a couple songs, drops in great performances. Volume 3, that early, really loose, jammy one is fantastic. 5, that's the one I just talked about. 4 and 2 are one of those where I like, why did they release this? There's a couple obvious highlights, but overall they're just solid Jerry shows with, I'm like, interesting. So yeah, it's been an interesting listen for these 5. Like, a lot of the same songs, but kind of weird, different energies on almost every night. But yeah, I'd put Volume 5 right there in the middle. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do all those things. And if you have the time and it's on streaming, it's on YouTube, you're on YouTube, this is on YouTube, listen to the first song and let me know what you think. It's weird, but it's good. I don't know. Yeah, you've heard me say it over and over. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Peace. Talk to you later.